Mukul has spent his time fostering relationships and selling the top modern condos New York City has to offer. His team was awarded Best Marketing Agency in 2012-2013 and highly commended in 2015-16 by the America Property Awards. Mukul has appeared as a hosting agent of the popular HGTV show House Hunters. He has also been a top sales agent at Level. Mukul also made brief stints at Sotheby's International Realty and Compass. With a background in design, Mukul has a keen eye for quality, construction, and details. He continually looks to the future to be at the forefront of trends in the marketplace, which he then applies to a highly curated collection of properties. Mukul has also completed LEED certification courses, making him an expert in green buildings and sustainable living. Mukul has a bachelor's degree in business administration from Boston University, is an expert negotiator, and is passionate about using technology to advance the industry. Please welcome Mukul Lavchandani.
My name is Mukul Lavchandani. People also call me Mickey. I am the modern agent. I've been in this business for 10 years, or over 10 years, and I've done over $100 million in closed sales. I was also one of the first agents to market themselves as a brand back in 2008 when it wasn't being done yet. And that really has helped me to foster relationships, stand out in the marketplace as an individual agent, as apart from being part of the agencies. Oh, just really quickly, so this here is a picture of, I had a client event about a month ago at the TWA Lounge at the World Trade Center on the 68th floor. And I had clients, friends, and family, and it was a fantastic event. And this is the kind of lifestyle that I sell. Topic and conversation that we're going to go over, this is a little brief preview. We're going to go over the market, and then we're going to talk about how can you stay relevant online. What are some of the techniques for online lead generation? So, how has the industry changed? I remember real estate back in the early 2000s when my family was buying real estate in New York City. And at that time, you would have to buy the New York Times. At the back was a real estate section, and on the back of that, in the classifieds, there would be all these little ads. There would be maybe 4 or 5 sentences about a property with a phone number, and you would have to call the agent that was listing the property. A lot of listing agents would hold on to the listing that have them at pocket listings. So the more agents you knew connections with, the more access you had to inventory. But it was not an easy way to find out what is actually available in the city. Then a few years later, faxes came out, and faxes where a lot of landlords would fax all the brokerages every week with all the listings available in the industry, and we'd have faxes going back and forth throughout the industry. About 12 to 15 years ago, technology started coming into the real estate industry. Zillow and StreetEasy actually started in 2005, which was about 15 years ago. And at that time, when things went to the internet, we would all go onto Craigslist. That's how you found your listings, your availability, your inventory. And now today, when people think about buying a property, the first place they go is online. They don't open the newspaper or a magazine, they go online now. And now where does the future hold? I really can't say. The reality is that there's a lot of money now in real estate and a lot of people trying to disrupt our industry. It could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. For a good thing is that they're bringing a lot more services to us as agents that makes our lives a lot easier. But on the flip side, there's a lot of people that want to take away our jobs and make us obsolete. So I'm not sure where the future holds for us, but that's why it's really important that we as an industry stay relevant and move our services online. So before we start the actual talk and showing you some of the techniques that I use in the industry, I want to talk about a few of the things that I believe in being in this business for over 10 years. I have gone to a lot of seminars. I've had coaches, consultants talk to me about the best practices in the industry, and this is my feedback about what I believe in and what I actually do on a daily basis. Posting on social media, I think it's a total waste of time. A lot of people, it's a total waste of time. The reality is that everyone says you gotta post and you gotta post every day, you gotta be active all the time and talk to everybody. But I honestly cannot say if I've ever met a qualified lead by going and posting stuff online. The reality is that most of the people that respond to your posts are other real estate agents. And I have no interest in trying to market to you guys. I want to meet clients, I want to meet prospective customers. So I don't spend my time daily on social media, but I'll tell you strategies how you can use social media to get access to potential clients later on. Calling and talking to people is also becoming obsolete. Now, don't get me wrong, there are people that love talking. Edward loves talking. But talking to people is going to become obsolete in that the millennial generation, they're moving away from calls. They want to be text. They want to be email. They want to be online chatting. They don't want to be called and bothered while they're at work or whatever. They just want to make it really easy. And I think that as the generations move forward, you have to start putting yourself in that mindset that everything has to be instant and it has to be via online. Now, the third comment is team to grow. I know there are some people here that have teams. What I'm saying about teams, I don't believe in having a team for myself because teams make sense for people that want camaraderie, that want to bounce ideas off each other, that wants help to show listings when they're busy. But for me, I believe in having a system in place and using technology so I can grow my business and be as efficient as possible so I can do more business by keeping myself nimble. And then finally, be first in and last out. What that means, about 10 years ago, I worked for a small firm in downtown. The president of the firm told us that we have to go in first thing in the morning. Whoever's the first agent into the office and the last one out would get credits for Craigslist ads so that they can put bait and switch ads online. And I thought that was crazy. In my personal life, I have a lot of free time. I'm still one of the top performing agents, yet I get to enjoy my life, all because I have systems in place where I don't have to work in the business, I work on the business. And I hope I can show you some of those techniques today. Before we go on, can you tell me, can I have a show of hands, how many people have been in the business for 10 years or more? 15 years or more? 20 years or more? Awesome. What's your name?
Jackie.
Jackie? Nice to meet you. That's awesome. So, what I want you to do moving forward, if you haven't already been doing it, is think like a business owner. We're all salespeople, I get it, we're doing sales all day long, but we're all freelance contractors in essence. We make our own bread and butter by us working in the business, and we have to make sure we're closing deals. But if we don't think strategically like a business, we're never going to move on to the next step. And the next step, your all long-term goal is to sell your business. You guys have been working in it for 20 years, 15 years. What is your future retirement plan going to be like? If you build a system and you build a business that people can actually sell to somebody else, then you can use those for retirement. But if you're just a salesperson and when you leave you just sell your book of business, it means nothing. I can buy a mailing list from another company and do the exact same thing. But if you build a system that you can replicate down the road, then that's a real business. So what I want you to do is think like a business person, an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur thinks of demand, which in our industry is customers, and supply, which is the listings that are out there, the properties that are out there. Currently, I looked online the other day, and we have over 17,000 sale listings online in New York City, all the 5 boroughs. Only 4.5% of listings closed over the last 30 days. That's about 800 properties. Now think about this. We have 25 to 35,000 agents in the business. And we're all fighting for 800 closings a month. That's not sustainable. And unfortunately, I have some more bad news. 80% of all those deals are done by 20% of the agents in the industry. So we really have to think, how do we stay relevant so that we can succeed in this industry as it's changing? So, how do you stay relevant? It surprises me that in this industry, over the last few months when I came back to Level Group last year, I've spoken to lots of people and they told me that they don't have a presence online. I said, what do you mean you don't have a presence online? They told me that if I searched their name on Google, they would not show up as a real estate agent. And that just blew my mind. agents in New York City, a lot of agents that have not moved on to online tech, they don't have a online profile. There is no existence of them in real estate. You might find them on social media, on Facebook, with a poorly shot iPhone image, and they're talking about their dog or something like that. But today's consumers, before they even engage you, even if you have your own listing, before they want to engage and talk to you, they want to see that you exist online. They want to feel like you are the right person that knows about the business and that they can trust you and they'll get along with you. So how do you have a presence online? You have to show up on Google search. That means that you have to show that you have a profile online that says specifically your name, real estate, and then you need to have images of yourself. I don't know if you guys ever get clients and you're like, I don't know who this person is online that just reached out to me. I want to see if this person is a legitimate customer or client. Are they on LinkedIn? Do they have a photo of themselves before I engage with them? The other day I got an online lead, some guy from China saying he wants an $80 million property. I was like, I need to know your name. I need to know if you're legitimate. I searched his name online. I didn't see anything. I was like, I'm not going to waste my time on that. Same thing goes for you guys. If you guys don't exist online, they're going to jump to the next agent that does exist, that does have things that they can talk about. I don't know if you guys can see the image on the left. That is when I did a Google search for my name. Now, my name is a little bit complicated, but if you type thanks, Edward. If you type my first name, Mukul, and you press space, my last name shows up right away. It's on one of the search options. My name shows up on the first 2 to 3 pages of Google, on all kinds of websites, all kinds of reviews. You'll see that there are videos about me also, and then in the bottom you'll see images, my profile images often. That shows someone that I exist, that I am a professional person in the industry, and that's someone that they can probably work with because they know that I can get the job done. You guys need to have that presence first before anything else that we talk about later today. So how do you do this? Where do you start? You want to start with your brokerage website. Your brokerage website it's like the easiest because they already have some Google ranking. Have a professional image of yourself, and I'll talk more about a proper profile. And then you want to start replicating that same exact content onto other websites. If you have a different picture on one site and a different picture on another site and a different bio on one page, another bio on another page, people are going to get confused. And when they get confused, they're going to leave and go to somewhere else and find another broker. On the right, then go to social media. Social media is really important. I know you guys use it a lot for your personal use. But the thing is that social media gets a lot of high rankings on Google these days. And if you're not showing up, and if you are showing up on there and you're showing things about your dog or whatever, they're going to think that you are not a full-time agent. And they want to work with someone that's a full-time because it's their money. And their money means a lot to them, and they want to make sure that someone is going to be able to take care of their needs. You'll see on my social pages, I have my hat logo. And the reason why I have my hat logo is because I advertise my brand. And as I said at the beginning of this seminar, the goal is to build a system and a business that when I want to retire, I can sell it, or I can have someone run the business for me while I'm retired. But if you don't do that, then at least have your proper profile picture that's consistent with that. And then if you look at my pages, it's all real estate focused. I don't post personal stuff. I don't let people post on my page about just random things. I'm very strategic on the kind of content that I have on my pages, and you guys should be doing the same thing too. This is the most important starting point of building an online presence. If you don't have this yet, there's no point even moving forward to the next thing that we talk about. Okay? So how do you build the perfect online presence? So the profile picture, I've spent many years trying to think about the right picture. I think the picture says everything about you, and people want to feel that they can trust you. A lot of people just say, whatever, it's just a picture, I don't care, it's just a secondary thing. It is so important. In my specific picture, and it's really small to see here, but I face the camera, I'm smiling, I'm not standing like I'm a cool hotshot broker, I'm smiling, I'm personable, and the clothing that I also wear was strategic to show that I'm a professional, but I'm also a casual person. I'm actually wearing a polo shirt with a blazer, kind of similar to what I'm wearing now. And it speaks to my clients. Now, if your clients are high-end co-ops on Park Avenue or Fifth Ave or whatever, then it's a different kind of client. But I speak specifically to buyers that want modern living. So I've spent many years thinking about the right kind of profile picture, and over the years, and if you guys do a Google search on my name, you'll see all the different profile pictures I've had in the past as I've transitioned to the point that I'm here today. So in your profile itself, how I do it is I always start with a first person hello. Hi, thank you for coming, checking me out. I am the modern agent. I love real estate. I focus on modern living, and I can't wait to work with you. Start with the way that you're actually having a one-on-one conversation with the customer. If you're just talking about, oh, I have been to Paris, I love to travel a lot, I went to this school, whatever, it loses them, and it's just another profile. You want to instantly connect with them from the first paragraph that they read about you. Mine is in bold, so they read that paragraph, and that's an important part. The bio is important, but it's not as important as that connection that you make with them. The reality is that these people go through so many different profiles, they don't have time, they're going to skim through everything. And so your profile, the actual profile itself is not as important. To talk about the profile a little bit, you want to talk about a few things that are important. What about you in real estate is important? Why should they care? Don't talk about all of your past, I did this business in the past and I was doing that. They care about, are you a professional in this industry? Can you get the job done? And just talk about real estate. A few other things that you want to think about is where have you lived, places that you've lived. If you have had a dog or a cat or you're an animal lover, because a lot of people in New York have pets and they can instantly connect with you. And then also what kind of skills that you've had in real estate. So for example, for me, I finished my LEED accreditation courses, so I know about green eco-friendly buildings. And so that puts me a different place than all the other agents in the marketplace. So you want to see those kind of things that you've done as well. And then finally, very importantly, and I'm going to mention this several times today, is call to actions. A call to action basically is a way that you tell people, thank you for visiting me, I'm available for you, contact me, and this is how you can contact me. It has to be very instant, and at that point, you can't just end your bio with just your information and that's it. You have to give them a reason to contact you. So I actually put my contact information at the bottom, even though that you can fill out a form on the side, because I want them to make it so easy that they will contact me. And on my agent website, I have contacts several places, so that they would just, all I'm trying to get them to do is to contact me so I can capture their information. Any questions so far? No? Okay. So another way to stay relevant in the industry is to get reviews. How many people here get reviews from your clients, put it online? You do? And how many reviews do you have?
Over 100.
That's awesome. On which website?
On my broker's website.
Awesome, okay. And does it show up on Google rankings?
I'm not sure.
Okay. And who else had? I saw a hand back there.
Real Satisfied.
Real Satisfied?
Real Satisfied.
Is that a website that does reviews? And how many reviews do you have?
Just
2, okay. So I use Google now. Unfortunately, I made the big mistake of jumping from website to website. I have some on Yelp. I have some on Facebook. I'm using Google. Reviews are super important because when you search for the person's name, their reviews will show up and it'll show stars in an orange color, which is automatically going to stand out on the Google ranking search results. So you want to try to get as many searches as possible. Now I use Google because I am a brand, like I said. And because I'm a brand, when you search the brand name on Google, on the right of the pane, you will see the modern agent, you'll see images, you will see a map, you will see my reviews, and you will see all the articles I'm writing right now. That way I really stand out from just the natural Google ranking. And so that's why, again, I have a brand set up for me to stand out in the marketplace. And this is totally free, okay? But I do recommend just choosing one. Don't be like me and just be spread out. So right now I have probably like 20, 25 reviews, and they're just all over the place.
Why not put the same ones on different sites?
You have to have the customer put it on there, so it's a legitimate review. Yeah. So here we're going to start into the crux of the thriving and dominating online content. But before you get into this, again, I'm reminding you that you have to get the online profile done correctly and that you exist online. If you spend money and start getting lead generations, people start seeing your website and contacting you. If you don't have a real profile, you don't exist online, they will leave you and move somewhere else. Okay, so it's really important. So lead generation. Why do I say print is dead? As of this year, in 2019, I decided as a business operation strategy is I will stop doing all print marketing activities. I've not sent out a single postcard this year, and I've put all of my money online. And I'll show you the results that I've had online. But what I've seen is that postcards campaigns, I would do them once a month. I spend between $500 to $1,000 a month. I would get either 0 or 1% rate of return on it. And to me, that's just a lot of waste of money. I don't remember the last time I bought a magazine. I don't know if you guys still buy magazines, but I just don't think that there's really a point to it. Or even newspapers. There's really no point to them because no one looks at them and there's a very low conversion rate. There's no way to track if that person came on your site or you were able to capture their content or their information. So in my opinion, print is dead. I don't recommend spending money on print moving forward. So, ways to do lead generation. This is the most easiest and the way that you guys can start right away is CRM, Customer Relationship Management Software. Your clients that you have currently are the easiest ways to get new leads. If you're not doing that and you're trying to spend money on getting new leads from other sources, you're wasting your time because this is literally a gold mine that's just sitting there and they can give you referrals, they may have to resell their place, they may need to have other services in real estate, and you should be taking advantage of that. I personally spend 10 minutes on my CRM a day. It's not mind-boggling, it's super easy, and it just takes a few minutes because I know as you guys are very busy. And Scott, remember I told you it's 10 minutes a day? We are all busy agents. We're all trying to make a deal, trying to close, negotiate, show. We have a lot going on in our plate. But our CRM is going to consistently bring us leads, and if you're not staying in touch with your clients, you're losing out opportunities. The CRM that I use is Contactually. Contactually was recently bought by Compass, and that's fine, in my opinion. I know I see some head shaking, and it's okay. Right now, they have promised that they will keep them as 2 separate services, and it will stay and live on, and that's totally fine. If they don't, then they will be in trouble for lying to the community. It's a very good service. It basically takes all of your emails and puts it right into a CRM database. So you don't even have to copy paste or use Excel. It's just all automated, and all you should do is just tell the system, I want this one to go into my buyers list, my sellers list, my warm list, my hot list. You can just choose with a click of a button, and it's done very easily. And it also sends you reminders when you should reach out to them. Hey, it's been 30 days, or it's been 60 days, or it's been 120 days since you last spoke to that person. Please reach out to them now. And you just click it, puts an email template out there, and click send. Super easy, and you save so much time with your CRM. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've been in the business for 10 years, and I've forgotten a lot of people over the years. And the CRM helps me to keep up to date, but I still forget who's who and what because I have so many things going on. So I actually have a 3-step CRM system to stay in touch with every single contact I've ever met. So the first one is a Contactually that I use. Then I have 2 other ones. I use Evernote, which is another online platform which we'll talk more into later. But basically, I have a program that I can see online every single active client that I'm working with. So if you see in the middle image there, I have my weekly task list. And there on top I have my top priorities. Oh my god, I gotta get that board package done. I gotta do like some really important things right now. Then I have my current clients. And I look at this list every single day because every of those clients need some kind of attention. And I'm not thinking about it every day. What am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to remember to talk to? And that happens often in our business. And then the bottom are my long-term to-do list. Hey, I gotta update my new blog post that needs to go out next month. I need to talk to my photographer to get something organized. So this is my daily screen that I look at every single morning. that I know that, okay, these are my tasks, these are all the clients I need to touch base with, and then I can just move on and actually work in the business after that. And thirdly, which is a really super awesome thing, is I have a printout that I put in a folder. And when I get a client that talks about some kind of real estate that they want something, I put it in this folder and I write it, physically write it. And I look at this list every Monday. And I started this list a year ago and I have 140 names now. Imagine if I do this for 4 to 5 years, how many names I can have on this list. And what I do is, like, if I'm getting a little bit quiet and I have some time, I just go to that list. I see, oh yeah, where was that client again? Oh yeah, let me reach out to that person now. Hey, maybe in 6 months I can make this deal happen. And I think of this as another gold mine activity that I get access to. So I highly recommend this as well. This is the third thing that I do. By doing these 3 things, every day, every week, I reach out to every single client and I don't lose a single lead. Any questions so far?
How many people you have in your database roughly?
I have 5,000.
Okay. And your printout, you using like the hot leads to sort of follow up?
Hot leads, medium leads, and warm leads.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can do it however you want. Therese?
If you weren't going to use contextually, because I don't know how long that wall is going to last, have you looked at other CRMs?
I have, and unfortunately I don't like a lot of them. Contextually makes it so easy, and I fear that I'll have to do more work later on, and I just want to keep it as streamlined, so I'm going to stick with them until they say no more. But I'm sure that there are others. Like, as I mentioned to you, PropTech, there's a lot of new players in the market, and I'm constantly following all of them to find out which one is going to be the next useful thing for our industry. And if something comes up, I'll definitely let you know.
Do you have to give them access to your contact?
You give your list and your Gmail goes to a server that is not shared to other people, and they themselves don't look at that list either.
Compass allows you
No, it's choose completely. So Compass's list or Compass's database is in a different site from contextually for the rest of the community. So they don't communicate at all, and they both work with their own technology system.
Only because a lot of websites now are asking you, in order to use this website, you have to give them contact information to your Gmail and your whatever.
Look, guys, I'll be honest with you.
There's no.
If you guys don't do anything, it doesn't matter if you have a list or not. You're not going to get anything out of it. I want to be able to work quickly, efficiently, and whether they're going to get access to my list, my clients are still going to talk to me regardless. So I'm not worried about someone being able to access my list. Okay. All right. So once you're relevant online, you exist, you're in your CRM, you're getting leads. Next thing to start thinking about is your brand. And Steve, I see you over there. Steve is the millennial broker. He has an awesome brand, and I'm going to get into more detail about how to pick your brand. But the millennial broker, I know instantly what he does. He's a broker, he does real estate, and he focuses on millennials. So millennials, as I explained to you earlier, just like to talk. They only want to text, email, or chat online. They don't want to call you. They're really busy during the day. They don't be bothered. And because he has that name, people will relate to him that are other millennials. Do you agree? Good. So when you're thinking about your brand, and actually I want you to take a minute after I explain to you, when you think about your brand, you need to think about 3 things. Who is your target market? Who is your ideal customer? You have to be authentic about who you are and who you relate with. An easy way to do this is think about all the clients that you've worked with in the past. Is there a pattern of the type of customers? Are they a certain age group? Are they a certain demographic from a certain country or a certain kind of property? Then the product, which is the property. Are you a brownstone focused person that you sell a lot of brownstones? Is your product Soho Lofts? Are you an expert in the Upper East Side co-ops? That is your product. So think about what kind of product that you sell that you're really good at. And then finally, focus on a neighborhood. Are you Manhattan focused? Are you New York City focused? So for me, I am the modern agent. So you know I'm a real estate person and I sell modern homes in New York City. I sell it all over. So that is my brand. So I want you guys to take a minute. You have some paper and I want you to think about who you are and what kind of brand would appeal to your customers. Go ahead.
So, because my last name is Barron, I was thinking of doing a play of that word, the Baron of X,
Love it.
fill in the X with
Absolutely.
a neighborhood name. And I specialize in co-ops and condos, and predominantly this is where I'm struggling. I'm looking for sellers that can appreciate a broker with a CPA and co-op board experience. But that's what I need to see.
So now look at the best performing CPAs that are in real estate. Find out what is their special thing that they're doing, and try to figure out how can you fit into that mold and that kind of thing so you can replicate. See, the most successful people, I look at them from different industries and I learn what they're doing and how I can replicate in my own business. And a lot of the things I talk about is not, I didn't come up with this stuff. It's I've been learning about trends in the industry and bring it into my own business. So I would say that Baron is a great name, and think about the name and how the other parts of it and how it will connect to the kind of properties and co-ops that you want to connect with. And I think that the competitive advantage that you have, that you understand co-ops and the financial and all that stuff, is a huge win because a lot of people don't understand it. All right, so now you guys have your brand, you have an idea about your product, your customer, and your neighborhood. Now it's time to build your website. Don't build your website until you have that figured out, because then you're going to change it and spend more money and more time and waste your time on other things. Now I'm showing you mobile versions of my website, and why I'm showing you that instead of the full website is because the industry is changing. Everything is going to mobile. Mobile is the first place people go to do searches. They're not going to desktop first anymore. So when you design, you got to design with mobile first, not desktop first. Some sites that I recommend, and that's very inexpensive and has modern templates to use, is things like Squarespace, WordPress, and Verb. They cost between $10 to $12 a month. Actually, WordPress I think is free. And you can have a beautiful template that is a responsive site. That means that it works on mobile. And I don't recommend getting a search functionality, which means the IDX feed. Let's be honest, guys. How many customers go onto your site or onto your brokerage's site to look for listings? They don't. They go on StreetEasy and Zillow. Why spend so much money with these IDX feeds, and they're going to give you a poor quality experience for your customer? And the reality, they won't even really use it because they're going to send you listings from StreetEasy and tell you to look into those. There's actually Urban Digs outside. I think they charge $50 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And they will be your search functionality with your clients. And that's totally fine. Just what I recommend, and I use a more expensive service, but $50, Urban Digs does a great job, is that I get the listings that clients send me from StreetEasy, which they prefer to use. And when I send them a listing back, I use a different service, but that way I'm not making the two, and I don't have to have a search on my website. It's totally fine. Clients don't even care. Most of the clients just want to use StreetEasy. So save yourself a lot of money, because IDX feeds are expensive and IDX websites are expensive. When you have your front homepage, then I recommend start building landing pages. What are landing pages? They are pages specific to a certain kind of customer that you want to attract. You'll see the first two I have here. I have a buy page and a sell page. Those are specific to a certain kind of customer. The customer looking to buy, what are the services that I provide to a buyer to buy real estate? And on a sell page, what are the services I provide from selling? Like, for example, staging services. In the buy page, I can pick you up and drop you around and whatever. And then all the amount of deals I've done, what kind of services to expect from me. One of the things that I do that is quite different from most people is that every Monday morning, I send, with my active clients for my weekly task list, I send them an update of what are the activities that we have done from the last week, where we are in the milestone, and what are the next steps, and I'll show you an example of that. And that is what I put into this, and I'll show you a video at the end that also talks about that. And then the third most important thing is please have a blog page. A blog is super important, not just because you want to talk about something, but it's good for Google rankings. That's going to show up in search results. The more longer your keyword search is, so let me go back a second. Google, when you type something, a topic, Google is going to try to find the most relevant site. a tip that I can give you is that if you go onto Google keyword search, there's an actual program website. They'll tell you what are the most searched words. For example, Zillow and Street Easy are the most searched words for New York City real estate. So in most of my blog articles, I put those words in because then my article will show up higher on Google. It's very, very easy. You want to have long tail keywords. So for example, what to buy in New York City in 2019. The longer it is, if someone types that exact question in, yours is going to show up at a higher point than just buy New York City 2019. So the longer your keywords are, the more higher ranking you're going to get. Does everybody get it? Okay. On your blog page, there are things called Evergreen Articles. I've just learned about this recently. An Evergreen Article are blogs that stay on your site and are relevant no matter what time of year or over the several years. So for example, staging a home and how to create a bidding war. It's not time specific, and it can live on, and you can keep promoting it on, and it can show up on Google rankings. Another good Evergreen article on the left side is thinking about buying. Ask yourself these questions first. These articles are great for Google ranking, but I also get a lot of clients that always ask me, hey, so what are the next steps? I just send them that link, and they can read about everything that it takes to start thinking about buying in New York City. The one in the middle, I'm going to go into more detail in a second, but this is what I can get for the money in Midtown Manhattan. This was provided based on keyword link search on Google. A lot of people are searching for this specific title, and so by doing this, I'm going to get a higher ranking online. And currently, I'm using this to advertise online, which I'll show you in a second. So I recommend thinking about what are the things that people always ask you, clients ask you, like, what are the processes to buy in New York City? What is, I don't know if you guys know what SEMA is, but what is SEMA? Start thinking about, like, for example, what is opportunity zones? Those are really popular things now. Think about those questions and just have an article about it, because that's going to show up higher on Google. Okay? Another really successful strategy that I've been doing is I've built a website for my building. This is a building website. Now, be sure not to list other agents' listings. You'd be very transparent. I don't list any of the other agents that list in my building. And I specifically say in the bottom that this website is specific to my own exclusives and does not represent the building or any other agents. And I can do this because there's no commingling with any other brokers. I get about 7 to 10 leads a week from this website alone, and it's been one of my best lead generators, and it is probably top 3 on Google. So when anyone searches this specific building address, I'm top 3 on there. First is Street Easy, second is maybe Zillow, and then I'm either 1, 2, or 3, so it just keeps moving up and down. With every website, you gotta have that call to action. So you see the chat function there? I get a lot of chats, and I don't know where my phone is there. I'll get the chat requests, and I'll immediately start responding to them. But because I have the chat also, I capture their email address, so I can put them onto my drip campaign, my mailing list, my CRM, so that I can constantly keep in touch with them as well. So I recommend having your call to actions on your site on every single page if you want to capture those leads. Once your website is done, then you can start doing some creative marketing. Email newsletter is not new. It's been around forever. Who here has a weekly or monthly email newsletter? Raise your hand. Scott, you doing it?
Just started.
Okay. Email newsletters are great. It keeps you top of mind. That's the purpose of it. It's not to try to get them to be like, oh my God, you have a great listing, I want to contact you. It's not that. It's that, oh, you're still active in the business. If I am a client that I'm out and about, I met someone that's looking for real estate, but, oh my God, you know what? I have that guy, he just sent me an email about real estate, let me forward it to you, or here's his contact. I do this once a week. I recommend doing it at least once a week if you really want to be top of mind for your clients. And make sure it's short. I've been getting a lot of, there have been a lot of agencies that have been recently changing and trying to really focus on online marketing, and their emails are very lengthy. They have every single event happening in New York City. They want to talk to you about what are their favorite wines to buy. If you think about it, when you get emails from other vendors, like a furniture company, do they recommend the wines that they recommend? You don't care what they have about to do with wine. You want to know that what are the furniture items that they're selling. Same thing with us. We're real estate professionals. They want to see what real estate we're promoting and why we're relevant to them. So just make it short and be very specific on your target of what the content you want to provide. Mine is literally it's just that long. Okay? And then if you see over here, that's the call to action. And if you click that, it goes straight to email, and then it says, hey, how are you? Let me know how I can help you. So I recommend having that system in place. Any questions on that, on email?
Gonna hire you?
Oh, by the way, I use MailChimp. If you guys care, there's other one like Emma's around, also, which is really good. I'm not a big fan of Constant Contact. I think they're in the 1980s still. But use an easy interface system. Actually, Squarespace now does email templates also. So if you build your website, you click a button, it'll automatically translate it into an email template for you, saving you a lot of time.
Mukul.
Okay.
Mukul.
Yeah.
You know, for something like your website on 303, to do the web chat, how do you
So I use
staff that? How do you respond with that? Like, you're here now, if I send something on your website?
So because I can't answer right now, I will capture their email, and through my chat program, I can say send email instead. And I can say, hey, sorry, missed you, but how can I help you? And then they will respond back by email. So I still captured them, and they still go in my CRM, and I can still follow up with them.
You can't outsource that, or you haven't thought about outsourcing that?
I have a very efficient system that I can just be, I'm always available for whatever. Again, like I told you, I have a lot of free time because I work on my business, not in it. And everything is very systemized so that when I don't lose leads, I capture every single lead and I try to work them out. In fact, Peter's over here. Peter is my referral, wave your hand, Peter. He's my referral agent. When I have rental leads that I can't have time to work with, I send them all to him, and then he works on it. So again, I don't necessarily work in my business as much as I work on my business. Does that answer your question? Okay. So as I told you earlier, I'm not a big fan of social media. It's a waste of time, in my opinion. If you do social media, you should be posting things that have to do with you in the business. Don't keep posting random things that have nothing to do with the business. Otherwise, people will, when they search for you and they see your social media feed, you're talking about your family vacation, things like that. It's not relevant, and they'll think that you're not a full-time agent. Okay. Other good things about being in New York City is we have iconic buildings, iconic neighborhoods, iconic things, and those usually get a really high ranking, high click-through on social media. And also doing events. I think you do a really good job on doing events. You're really, Marisol, wave your hand. She's very active in the New York City events, and she's always posting really amazing images, and gets you interested. And they have to do a lot with real estate today, right? You're doing a lot of real estate stuff now, so. Do you guys have phone access right now? Do you guys have cell phone access? If you guys can you just visit my site, themodernagent.com, really quickly? Alright, so now that you guys have visited my website, I now have your information, and now as you are searching on other websites and on social media and other actual sites, you'll start seeing my ads. And these are my ads, so you'll see the best properties in Midtown Manhattan, see the best property in Midtown Manhattan. And these are going to start showing up on different sites, all online. And now I've captured you. I spend about $500 per month on my online advertising. And let me show you some of the successes I've had. So on Facebook and Instagram, my ads have hit 562,000 impressions. I had 14,000 post engagements, and I had 24 new page likes. On Google, I've had 1,144 people saw my ads. I had 100 people visit my site. This is over the last week, by the way. And then I had 1,125 people see my display ad, the ones that you see over here. And now you will also start seeing that as well. So when you do social media, I recommend putting some money towards it rather than print campaign. So print campaign, I spend like $500 to $1,000 a month. I now put all of that towards online advertising. I get so many more hits. I get so much more traffic to my site, and that's the purpose. I want to lead generate. And by capturing them, I get their contact info for the most part, or I keep retargeting them so they keep seeing me again and again, and then build brand loyalty. Now they know I exist. I'm a legitimate person in the real estate industry. This campaign is only for this month, and it'll become a new campaign next month. It changes every month.
So are you using Google AdSense or what are you?
I'm using Google AdSense. I'm using Google redirect, redirect function, display ads.
Okay.
I'm using that also. And for Facebook, I'm using Facebook Pixel, and that's the way that they can track you online.
So here you said the 14,000 people click their website through ads, right?
Well, they engage with the post. What that means is that they stopped, they looked at it, they may have clicked into it, or they may have done something with that post. It means that they stopped and they looked at it for a while, and they're thinking about it. When you see impressions, it means that it just came and it just showed up, and then you kept moving forward. When you're engaging with it, it means that you've stopped, you looked at it, you may have clicked onto it, but you wanted to learn more about that specific ad.
And do you know how many of you contact you to become a lead?
So the thing is that I have different activities going on, and the purpose of this is not to capture the lead, but to build brand awareness. So right now, all the campaigns I'm doing is to build brand awareness, because once they come onto the site, then they get rebrand. They see the brand on different sites, and it's just to build brand awareness right now. There are different functions on social media. If you want to get more clicks, you want to get more contacts, this specific strategy I'm doing is to get more brand awareness. Therese?
Do you get pushback when you're the modern agent and they see you and they associate you with the brand of the modern agent and you refer them to someone else?
You mean from the online leads?
Yes.
I'm very transparent. I basically, like Peter knows, I used to say, hey, currently I don't have any listings in this building, but my colleague works a lot in the neighborhood, and we have access to very similar leads like this, very similar properties like this, and he'll be in touch with you with different listings.
And do you get much resistance to that?
There is definitely resistance, just like any online advertising, and even like print campaign, there's a percentage of turnover. But in my experience, the turnover is much higher online because you can capture those leads and you can do drip campaigns on them on a long term. There's systems that you can keep following up with them every so often. Okay? So here's a good example of how I spent $4 on an Instagram ad and I got a $4 million client. So let me tell you what I did. So I wrote late last year, Amazon was going to move into LIC, which was a big fiasco for everybody, I'm sure. So I wrote an article that was specific to real estate and how it would affect the real estate prices in the neighborhood in LIC. I had a map of LIC. I said where the offices, the headquarters were going to be located, and I drew graphics of where the area that I think would be potentially affected that would be positive for potential buyers to buy in LIC. I took that blog, I did a $4 promotion on Instagram while I was traveling in the Caribbean on vacation, and I got this email from someone that responded to that ad. Hi, I saw your ad on Instagram. I live in Long Island City and have been looking for an investment property, preferably a multi-unit residential property in LIC. Given the growth in the recent Amazon announcement, my price range is flexible, up to $4 million. However, the existing inventory is sparse. I may be open to a single condo. However, the monthly association fees make the numbers tough from a cash flow perspective. If you have interesting properties that fit my criteria, please kindly let me know. I met the client. I showed him around. That was a $4 lead for me, and I could do that all day long. And I think you guys should start thinking that way as well. By the way, that blog, I sent it in my email newsletter. I got 5 new leads from my existing client base, and I had 2 contracts out. So these systems work. Lastly, we're going to talk about operations and automation, which is my favorite because I love to be streamlined, and I like to work on my business, not in it. There are a lot of services these days that that helps to provide you with services to make your business much more streamlined, and they're not expensive. It gives you a personal touch, meaning that you can personally touch a lot of people, but you can do it in volume, and that's what I love. The core of my business services that I use is called Evernote. Evernote is a note-taking service. You can put anything on there. You can put images, you can put voice memos, you can put tables, and then you can link this to your email. You can put it online, and I use it for everything. I use it for keeping up with my taxes. What are my bills due? I can put reminders on it. I use it for everything, and I highly recommend that you guys start thinking about either using this or using another service. This is when I start having a system. So here are a few examples of some templates. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but on the left is a appointment scheduling template. Once I've scheduled appointments with my clients, I copy and paste this template onto Gmail, and I just change the content in there, and then I just send it out. I don't have to think about every single time writing an email and what the template's going to look like. I tell them exactly where to meet me, what time to meet me, and what the topics we're going to look at on that day. Second one is once I have an exclusive rental agreement signed for a rental property, I automatically send out this email that tells my landlord what to do, what are the next steps, and how to get the apartment ready for listing the property online. And that way, I don't have the client saying, "Oh, so what do we do next? How does it happen?" This just goes automatically. And then lastly, I told you about that weekly update that I do every Monday morning. So over here is a weekly update for a specific client. And over here it shows several pendings and a schedule. So attorney selection. There's a link. The link goes to my preferred attorneys that I work with. Get a mortgage pre-approval. The link. I send it to my list of my preferred mortgage vendors. And you can see pending and pending. So until the client doesn't engage those things, those don't turn green. And that way my clients can see every Monday on their email inbox that, oh, these are the next steps I have to work on this week, and then we move forward to the next step. This is showing your clients that you have systems in place. They feel confident working with you, and also referring you out to other clients because they know that you are a professional and that you're a full-time business professional in this industry. The gig economy is very popular. There's a lot of really good talent out there for not a lot of money. And they are really quick. I recommend this website called Upwork. Upwork, I've hired 3D printer people. I've hired lawyers to do my leases for me. All my blogs are written by somebody else. I don't write them, and I got them through Upwork. But you can hire website people, SEO people, your social media advertising people. It can all be done there. When you post a job ad, you get your interview there. They will send you examples of what they've done before, or example of their sites, etc. And then you can bid, and so you can tell them, I'm willing to offer you X amount, and then you'll get bids back saying like, I accept your bid, and then you start engaging with that. So it's a really good site. It's much better than Fiverr. Fiverr is like the bottom of the barrel. This is a quality site, and it's not expensive. So my blogger, I pay him $120 per article, and it has all the SEO things and keywords in it already, so I don't have to think about it. And he lived in New York City, so he knows New York City already. He knows the neighborhoods and stuff, so I don't have to go through the whole thing with him. Okay?
So what do you provide him? Sorry.
Sorry?
What do you provide your blog post writer? Bullet points and suggestions?
I basically tell him that, hey, this is the next article that I want to write. Actually, I have a schedule, a marketing plan schedule of what I want to write for the next 4 months. Actually, I've done already the articles. These are the articles. And then tell him that go and find the keywords. Then he'll come back and say like, hey, these are keywords. Do you have any recommendations or any quotes that I want to add to the article? And any buildings that I want to feature. And then he puts it all into an email. And he sends it to me in 24 to 48 hours.
So you've written the article already?
I've never written an article. I don't write the article.
All you do is give him the headline.
Correct. And he does all the SEO. He thinks about all the content. He knows the neighborhoods. So I don't have to redo it again.
So what do you tell them? Like, hey, LIC, Amazon,
Yes.
write me something?
So I give him some links to some of the sites that were written about the neighborhoods and what's going. Like I send him Crm article and a real deal, and he'll take all that and make it into an article. And then he'll put all the hyperlinks in the article itself. So I just copy paste the whole thing onto my blog.
You pay him on a monthly?
I have a deal with him that he'll do a volume at $120 per article. And that's just one guy. So my 3D printer, I got him to do 5 lapel pins for $30. You know, I went out to go and find a lapel pin manufacturer, and it's all custom. They want 500 pieces at $5. I got the whole thing done for $35. So I recommend look online, think out of the box. You don't have to hire someone in-house to be there all the time. You can get everyone as a freelance contractor to do all the work for you. You don't have to deal with payroll and taxes and all that stuff. I have no interest in getting into that stuff. So just something to think about. And for those agents that want to be ahead of the curve, video content is the future. I have dabbled in it a little bit, and I've wanted to do it for many, many years. To me, it's hard, and but if you want to get ahead and you want to be one of the pioneers in the industry, we still don't have a lot of online videos or any key players in the online video space. So if you want to be like the $1 million listing, but for online only, there is still a lot of opportunity. Here are some stats. 81% of businesses use video as a marketing tool. 6 out of 10 people rather watch online videos than television. Mobile video consumption rises by 100% every year. By 2022, online videos will make up more than 82% of all consumer internet traffic. So again, if you want to stay ahead of the curve, start thinking about building video content for your brand. Let me show you, to end this seminar, is a video that actually Ian helped me create. Oh, questions? No? Wow, that's great. Yes?
You mentioned about the contextually and MailChimp integration. How did you do that?
So all you have to do is go onto Contactually, and it'll say, do you want to connect to MailChimp? And then it'll ask you to put your password in there, and then it'll say which list you want to connect to.
So you can also
You can do it all through Contactually.
Talking about video, what is your cost or the process it takes you to get a video? Like, which software, which programs do you use?
So I use Ian, who's standing right there. He actually did the video that we're going to take a look at in a second. Otherwise, I would recommend getting a handheld gyroscope with your iPhone as a starting point, and then just start doing video content. Actually, Scott bought one of those video gyroscopes. Osmo? You bought the Osmo.
And do you use a specific program app to edit your videos? Or?
There are so many out there, but I say be as easy and simple as possible. Even if the quality isn't so good, but you have good content and it's online, and you have like a YouTube page about yourself and what you do for your services. Instead of doing those blog posts, start doing video content, because that video content still shows up on Google as well. And in fact, the video content shows up on the first 5 of the Google search. Very easy, and I'm specifically talking to the person that's looking at the video. I'm not walking on the street and being like, this is what I do every single day. No, I'm engaging with the person that is a prospective customer. I'm letting them know what my services are and that I want to meet them. And in fact, so here is my website, which I think you guys saw online, but as soon as you log into the site, there's a video that starts right away. That's me talking to you. It automatically builds credibility that I am a professional. I have a picture of New York City and the services I provide. But this was built mobile first. So if you shrink it, you'll see that the video starts right away. See, so I had the call to action on there, if you noticed it. I said, contact me, or click on the chat icon below. I'm always looking to get their contact info so I can start doing other marketing activities to capture that lead. Questions? No questions?
First of all, thank you for doing this.
Sure.
I wonder, how do you learn all this best practice?
I read a lot.
Updated.
So I subscribe to Medium, which is an online website that has really great articles from a lot of the best professionals in different industries, and I read about like best practices for email, sending out emails, how much content to put in an email. So my emails are always really short because I found out that people only have a second to think about something, only ask them one question. But in things like videos and all that stuff, I always read a lot of content online.
Subscribe to the newsletter?
No, I mean, I like all of us, we get bombarded with a lot of content. So I go and find the content that I want. I don't read a lot of email content.
You should do search, right?
Search, yeah, or I look at other brands in other industries and I try to follow what they're doing. Again, my background is marketing, so I've always had a liking for these kind of things. I love trends. I want to always be at the forefront of different trends. Questions? Scott?
For your Instagram, so
Louder?
For your Instagram, so do you have a personal and business, or with Facebook it's just business and business?
So on Facebook I have a personal page
Okay.
and a business page, and on Instagram I have a business page only. I don't want to have too many pages because then it just becomes it's just too more work and there's not really anyone that does well. I personally have stopped posting because I just don't think it's worth my time, and I just don't care. I get better results from advertising online. And I hope you guys all learned that today, that just posting is a waste of time.
So this way you can put up ads on Instagram and it's all going to your Instagram.
You can have it to go to your Instagram to get more likes on your photo, or you can have it go to your website where you can then capture their information. I have it going to I want all of my marketing to go to my website so I can capture them online on the site. And I've designed the entire business model for it to all go to my website ultimately. And then on every single page I have call to actions, so I capture the leads.
Earlier you said you treat it like a business, you want to make it automate, so you can even sell it in the future. But if this business is all built on you individually as a brand, how can you sell it?
It's not. The website just change out the videos. All the online social media, it's all under the brand name. The Google search is under the brand name. Everything I've done is based on the brand name. And I am an agent in the brand. So the brand can still live on even if I'm not here.
So you have to hire a team member and trainer to...
I can sell the whole brand. I've already been offered, people have offered me to buy my brand, and I just transfer the intellectual property to them and the systems I already have in place, and then they can put themselves in the same brand. See, if I just brand myself and I work for 20 odd years and I want to retire and I leave, if I sell myself then and they move on to somebody else, the other person's not going to be like, who are you? You're not the same person, even though you have my contact info and you may have worked with a previous person. But by being a brand, the brand can still live on its own. You know, companies buy other companies all the time.
It's
But
like
the
a
brand,
real estate firm.
But the brand still lives, yeah, exactly, like a real estate firm.
Right.
Like Compass bought Stribling, but Stribling still lives on, right? It didn't change to a Compass. So it's the same thing. Me personally is not the brand. Modern Agent is the brand. And I brand the Modern Agent. That's my number one brand. That's why I asked you all to think about your brand. Because that is really what you can sell down the road. That is a real business. You as the agent are just a salesperson and the business owner, and you'll sell it to another business owner down the road.
It's like GE, same kind of thing, you know, company.
But your future buyer has to be someone kind of like you, like modern.
I don't know, 20 years from now, I don't know, 10 years from now, I have no
Who
idea
doesn't
what.
care at that
How
point?
does the system,
Yeah.
how the system they can maybe change it?
I mean, my personal idea is that I'm going to build a system and the brand that I can retire, have someone here locally that will work under the brand and keep servicing my clients while I'm somewhere on vacation or at the beach somewhere. That's what I'm working
So
towards.
everything's more like modern, the modern age.
Yeah, the brand will live on, but I don't have to actually be. I don't want to work in my business. I want to work on my business.
And how do you have that organized
What do you mean?
in terms of the business entity? the brand?
I have an incorporation, an S corp, and my brand is a registered trademark. That way, I have full intellectual property of the brand that I can also sell the brand name. But without the system, the brand means nothing. The system is super important because it's hard for another company to replicate systems. That's why companies buy other companies. because they have a system that has intellectual property to it. Questions?
You mentioned brand, like you want to be specific, like on the west side, in the same time, exclude certain clients. Don't you want to be more generalized so you can take on all kinds of
Yes, but if you
how to
don't,
balance those?
I still have co-op clients. I still have clients that aren't my target market, and I still work with them. But because I mean something, I get access to more clients than what I would have just if I just been a general agent. And that's what you want to do. You want to get access to more. See, I love modern living, modern architecture, and so I sell what I love. So, but the people that I get referred from, they are referred to may not be that target market, but I still work with them. It's okay. But my target branding is where I get a lot of my leads from. So, but you have to specialize. Every brand, every big company, that's what they do. They specialize in a certain target. They don't do everything and everything. So you have to think that way. You can't just be a salesperson or be a business owner.
Rather make people remember you more.
Like I said, I walk around, people stop me and say, hey, you're the modern agent guy, right? All the time. And I have no idea who these people are. But it happens, because it's a name. My name is not easy to remember, but the brand is easy to remember. And the brand can live on past me also.
So did this come to you all of a sudden in one fell swoop one day?
No, marketing, branding takes a long, long time. So when I started this in 2008, when the market crashed, I went through maybe 200 different things before I came up with it. Yeah. And I had to check online to see there was a trademark on it. Actually, I wanted to name the firm, the brand, the agency. And at that time, I checked, and in California, they just started a company called the Agency Brokerage. And I was like, you know what, I don't want to have conflict of interest. I want to be my own thing. So I kept thinking. So again, you have to really think about it. It takes time.
I heard you mention you try to keep active clients at 5 at a time. I like our idea, but how do you make it work? Do you really 5 at a time?
Absolutely. I cannot do a good service to everybody if I take on too many clients. And the reality is that 5 at a time is something that I can optimally manage and give everyone a good attention, quality of service. So I don't take more than that. And the truth is that not all your clients are active. Some of them are once a week or once a month. Some of them are, I need something today. So the ones I need today are typically 5 is the max I can take. And by you telling clients that you can't take them on right now, it shows that you are a busy person, that you're highly desirable, and they respect that.
So actually tell new people, no, I'm too busy right now.
I'm currently booked. I'm available on this date, and we can start at that point. And I've done that before. It worked. People will respect your time if you tell them that you have a busy business and that this is how you work.
Aren't you afraid they look for other agents?
Like I said, I believe in building systems to be efficient and so that I can work on my business and not in it, and I'm able to accommodate all the clients in the business that I have. Even the marketing, the online social media stuff, the reason I only spend $500 a month is I cannot take on more than that many clients. If I have too many leads coming in, I just cannot work them properly. And I don't want to diminish my brand name. I can spend more money if I wanted to, but then if I lose the quality of my brand name, then I have a bad name in the industry. And I cannot diminish that. So instead of being a big brand, I want to be small and really good quality so people really respect me. So they know exactly what to expect when they work with me.
You don't want to hire 1 or 2 people just to spend.
I don't need to. I can go on my vacation and enjoy life and still be able to do all the other
It's a preference, probably. I mean, he could do, somebody else could do whatever.
I don't want to be a big
Yeah.
agent. I don't want to work.
You could certainly be bigger.
I don't want to work all the time in my business.
Right.
My business gives me what I need to enjoy my life, and then my retirement plan and everything else that I want.
Listen, folks, I want to thank everybody. Thank you, Mukul. Please don't forget, first of all, take food. There's food out there. If there's some left, take it. Urban Digs, Broker Loop, Wells